Good evening, folks. We'd like to welcome you to this meeting of the Allgood City Council for this month of June, day 12 of 2018. This time we will have a roll call. Mrs. Flatt, please.
Honorable Mayor Dyer.
Present.
Honorable Vice Mayor Norris.
Present.
Honorable Councilman Bilbrey.
Present.
Honorable Councilman Grant.
Present.
Honorable Councilman Hill.
Present. Sorry. Very present.
At this time, we'll have our invocation and pledge of allegiance. If you would stand, Mr. Morrison will lead us in a short word of prayer.
Good, bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the blessings of life. We thank you for another opportunity, Lord. We pray your blessings upon this council as they move the city forward, Lord, that they would lean to you for guidance and ever be lasting, listening to you and moving forward. We pray for the citizens of Allgood, Lord, those that are touched by sickness and death and ridden to their homes, Lord, should be down on them and heal them and comfort them, Lord, and help them through these times. We pray that you continue to watch over us and keep our employees safe, our officers safe, and protect them while they're out protecting us, and just keep an eye on us. It's in your name we ask these things. Amen.
Chief Armour, would you lead our pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you will note, the agenda is posted behind me on the screen for your viewing. Our first item is to consider approval of this agenda as presented.
Make a motion.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second on the floor. Mrs. Flatt, please.
Mayor Dyer.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Norris.
Yes.
Honorable Bilbrey.
Yes.
Honorable Grant.
Yes.
Honorable Hill.
Yes.
Item number 2 is to consider the approval of minutes of our last council meeting held on May 8th of 2018. And each one of us has had this information for a few days. Any changes or omissions, additions to these?
I have none.
I'll recommend approval.
Second.
Motion and second. Mrs. Flatt, please.
Mayor Dyer.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Norris.
Yes.
Honorable Bilbrey.
Yes.
Honorable Grant.
Yes.
Honorable Hill.
Yes.
Under new business, is the consideration of the approval to suspend the reading of ordinance 626-18. This ordinance is concerning our annual budget, which will be available to anyone who requests it. But at this time, I'll make a motion that we suspend this reading.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor. Mrs. Flatt, please.
Mayor Dyer.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Norris.
Yes.
Honorable Bilbrey.
Yes.
Honorable Grant.
Yes.
Honorable Hill.
Yes. Sing strong tonight.
Item number 4. The floor will now be open for public comment on second and final reading of ordinance 626-18. This is to consider the approval of second and final reading of this ordinance adopting the annual budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2018 and ending June 30, 2019. I would also note that this budget also comes with no tax rate increase. The floor is now open.
Roger Williams, you said, what is a penny rate? I guess would be my question.
0.4887.
Was it the same as last year?
It is.
Yes,
It
sir.
hasn't changed.
Same
any.
thing?
Yes, sir.
That's all I need to know. Thank you.
Okay.
Would anyone else from the audience like to approach the podium and ask a question or make a comment on this year's budget? Next year's budget. I'll entertain discussion from the council, or questions concerning the budget. Mr. Hill?
I don't think I have anything. It's just maybe just for the record, a brief. Again, just to reiterate, this is just our projections for the year, and that this is reviewed by our auditors. Correct?
It is also reviewed by the Comptroller's Office of the State of Tennessee.
Perfect.
Matter of fact, the packet's ready now. As soon as the ordinance signed, it'll be sent to them for approval.
And so the actual budget doesn't get approved until the Comptroller General's office gives the stamp of approval. Correct?
It'll be approved here tonight, and then the Comptroller will send back
But-
confirm that it has been approved by
Okay.
them as well.
Okay. And if there are any concerns from the Comptroller General's office, it comes back to us for
They'll
addressing.
send back and say, hey, you probably should look at this in the future. They may not make any recommendations for changes this year. Usually they don't have any problems with it, so.
Any mid-year checks by the Comptroller General's office? Or is this just this year, and then at the end of the
They
year, it's our
usually do it at the end of
auditors?
the year, and then the auditor comes back and does an audit and then sends a report to the state. So they just look at it through those two reports.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mr. Grant?
No questions.
Mr. Bilbrey?
No questions.
Mrs. Norris?
No
Okay. Again, I will ask for any questions or comments from the council, or from the audience on this. This is your opportunity to speak. Just some quick numbers, some numbers on this. This is involving our proposed 2018-2019 budget. We're projecting our total revenues to be at $3,351,420. And of course, that is our projected total revenue. Our projected total appropriations or expenditures is $3,657,846. That is a difference of $306,426. That includes the building of the new fire hall, our paving and sidewalk projects, and thus the reason for the $306,426 amount that we are projecting. Any other comments or questions from the council? I will now close the floor for public comment on this second and final reading of ordinance 626-18. And I will entertain a motion adopting this annual budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2018 and ending June 30, 2019.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion on the floor
I'll second.
and a second. Mrs. Flatt, please.
Mayor Dyer,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Norris.
Yes.
Honorable Bilbrey,
Yes.
Honorable Grant,
Yes.
Honorable Hill.
Yes.
Item number 5, consider approval to surplus the 1987 Ford dump truck. Mr. Morrison?
This is a 1987 Ford dump truck. We've had it for many years. It is a gas. We've had some problems with it. We've tried to fix it over and over and over. Currently it's not running, so at this time, rather than keep pouring money into it, we just prefer to sell it and get rid of it and not have to keep putting money in it. Director Jones has recommended to sell this piece of equipment. Mr. Jones, do you have any comment?
Do we not need a dump truck? We need a dump truck, but not that one. So are we anticipating the request next year? Is it in the budget?
We've got 3. There's not
Oh,
one
we've got
in.
3.
Yeah, we've got 3.
Okay.
This is number 4 now. The new
Okay.
snowplow came in. So we're,
So we won't need a new dump truck?
no, we keep 3 in cycle, so this one
Okay.
just rolls off.
Perfect.
Any other question or comment? I'll make a motion on this.
I'll second.
Motion and second on the floor. Mrs. Flatt, please.
Mayor Dyer,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Norris,
Yes.
Honorable Bilbrey,
Yes.
Honorable Grant,
Yes.
Honorable Hill.
Yes.
Item number 6 is consider approval to surplus the 1999 Chevrolet C25 service truck. Mr. Morrison.
It's a 1999 service truck. It's been in service for many years. The floorboard is currently out of the truck, and it's not running very well, so it continues to decline. And so at this point, rather than continue to try to repair it, I think it's best that we just cut our losses and get rid of it. Also, a recommendation from Director Jones. There will be replacement trucks for Public Works in this next year's budget to help replace this vehicle once it's out of service.
So basically, you're Fred Flintstone if you try to stop. Okay. Any question or comment from the council? I'll make a motion that we surplus this vehicle.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor. Mrs. Flatt, please.
Mayor Dyer,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Norris,
Yes.
Honorable Bilbrey,
Yes.
Honorable Grant,
Yes.
Honorable Hill.
Yes.
That brings us to our city administrator's report. I'll turn the floor over to Mr. Keith Morrison.
At the fire hall, the footers have been dug out. They are working on putting the rebar in, and they will be pouring footers hopefully soon. The park grant, we're waiting for the direction. Tennessee Department of Health, that is in charge of that grant, had asked for additional paperwork from us, which we have submitted. I did hear from UCDD today, and he anticipates in the next few weeks that we will begin moving forward with that grant for the park master plan development. So hopefully we'll be able to move forward with that soon. The water sewer project, Director Jones and I made a run last Friday to try to wrap up some easements, so we're still waiting to hear back from a few folks. We did gain some more easements, so we're very near complete on that. As soon as those easements are complete, we will be ready to move forward with rural development and put that project out to bid and begin construction on the water and sewer line improvements. Department heads, do you have anything? Mr. Hill, do you have something?
Yeah. The park grant, just wanted to understand the timeline on that, because I think it's a great project, and it's one of those the sooner we get started on that, the better,
Right.
in my opinion. So the grant happens, and then that funds the development of the master plan.
Right, it will pay, there will have to be a bidding process for some kind of design firm. I haven't got all of the specific details. That's what I'm hoping to have in the next 2 weeks, of what we will have to do and how we'll have to lay that out and what they expect us to do to meet the requirements of the grant. It's a fairly new grant, so they're still working through some of those factors. I think ours is going to be a high priority because we have the land and we didn't ask for a lot. We asked for the $50,000 to do the master plan. My anticipation is we should hopefully be able to move forward with that by August or September at the latest.
With the development of the plan.
Right.
And then how long are we anticipating the planning process to go? I guess my question is, once you get to the point of having a decision of the plan, when does the actual work begin?
I have a feeling they're going to have to come back before the council a couple times to tweak the plan, say, hey, here's some recommendations, but here's some options. Which way do you want to go? So I anticipate that to take a couple months, and
Sure.
we should have that master plan developed and have everything laid out and worked out. My guess would be between October and December, maybe have a final master plan ready that we could actually lay down and say, here's phase 1 and here's how we accomplish that.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions on the city administrator's report? In an effort to keep everyone informed, my position as mayor, I have, in the last several days, couple of weeks, attended a couple of meetings with the Transportation Committee that consists, of course, the county executive and the mayors from the other cities in Putnam County, as well as planners and those folks, and trying to devise a master plan to submit to the TDOT concerning roads, infrastructure, and those types of things, and some ideas that we've actually come up with. Still working on that. That's a slow process, of course. Also attended a joint economic committee meeting, which again consists of Putnam County's executive along with the mayors of the other cities of Putnam County, as well as business and civic leaders. And we share information during those meetings and talk about things that the City Council of Allgood is discussing or thinking about trying to accomplish, i.e. our fire hall expansion, of course, our paving project, which is a really big thing for us, sidewalk projects and various things like that. We were privileged to have Matthew Tucker with our engineering firm, James C. Haley, attend last night's work session. We were updated on the farmer's market and given a couple of more ideas to take back to the drawing board, but it is on its way. It's coming. We're just in the final stages of that planning process. And also looking at our paving project, he informed us of what was going to happen during that time, the length of the actual work that's going to be done, and very good information for everybody concerned. Keeping us updated on that. And if we are able to get all of our information, we could possibly make decisions on both of those at next month's meeting or August at the latest. So again, I just wanted to keep everyone informed of those things that are swiftly coming now, and they will be here within the next couple of 3 months. So at this time, I will move on to number 8 in our meeting, which is hearing of citizens and or delegations. At this time, if you would like to speak, please come to the podium, identify yourself, and state your business.
Roger Williams. A while ago, you said that the fire department was in the budget. The money for the fire department was in the budget?
The fire hall.
Hall, yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yep.
Well, it was in the budget last year. So wouldn't it be a capital outlay that would have already been there and you wouldn't have to have it in the budget again this year, or what?
It's still a capital outlay, and since it's still an active project, it still carries over to the current year.
So we had it in the budget last year. We didn't spend the money, 550, 60,000.
Right.
Did it go back into the general fund?
It went back into general fund at the end of the year.
So I guess what I'm saying is, so you never know exactly how much is in there. You just keep, how much is in it this time?
How much is in what?
In the thing for in the budget for
The
the.
fire hall is still sitting at
Can we
$500,000.
spend some money before that already this year for it, and it's back up there
But
again?
it was approved by the council at $633,000, so it's a little bit over
So
the original project
Capital
budget.
outlays don't just stay in one place, so you just have to spend it for them. It goes back in the general fund every year?
At the end of the year, we push it back into general fund, and if a project carries over, we put
Okay.
it back in the budget.
Got it, thank you.
I would add also, the mayor made a mention of the Putnam County Transportation working on a master plan submit to TDOT. Putnam County currently has online for citizens to go and prioritize their wish list for how they think the project should be taken, like the top 10, or how they think those projects rank. And you can go online through Putnam County and do that as a citizen. And they're going to take those survey results and take them into consideration as we move forward with how to present the projects for Putnam County to the state of Tennessee.
Thank you, Mr. Morrison. I neglected to mention that. Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak?
My name is Linda Bilbrey, and I have a question. The farmer's market,
Yes, ma'am.
I know that you've talked about it for a while. Is it going to be available this year to be used?
I can't answer that question simply
Okay.
because we are still waiting new drawings coming back from our engineer, as I spoke of earlier. However, if we approve those drawings at next month's meeting and get this going, we could actually let this out to bid in August, and you're probably looking at an October or November completion date. I will add this: any person who wishes to can contact City Hall and let us know their intentions, and they are more than welcome to set up on the lot as it is now
Okay,
and use it for that particular purpose
okay.
until that building is completed.
Yeah, that's what I was wanting you to tell them.
Yes, ma'am.
The permitting process is already in place. An alternative site that we're gonna allow some of those folks to use is the corner of City Hall parking lot.
Anyone else? Any other comment or question from the council? Thank everyone for attending. Thank you for taking an interest in your government. It is your government. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn. We are adjourned.